Yeah.
Oh my God. God, that was a really long yawn. What a great way to start.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
We're recording in progress. Yawns for 7 minutes.
Just have to prepare myself.
Hi all.
Hi.
Welcome back to Completely Normal Amount. Me and Summer are a little sleepy today. It's Sunday afternoon, so we are just sleepy.
It's all rainy here, so I'm so
Yeah. I
tired.
did take a 4 hour nap before getting on this call, so you're gonna have to forgive
Right.
the sluggishness for today. Um, but yeah, we don't really have a set plan today. We're just kind of, seeing
Gavin.
yeah, we're just gonna gab and see where the wind takes us. We got on FaceTime to get ready, and I was like, I really can't say anything because
Yeah, we're about to pod.
we're
So,
about to, yeah, I was like, I need to keep all of this to myself.
that was kind of a silent FaceTime, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, that's totally fine.
Well, yeah.
It's not about the
Uh,
words, it's about who you're with, so.
yeah, it's about the presents.
Exactly. Well,
Exactly.
Summer, I feel like you had a fun weekend from what you did yesterday and all that. So why don't you go ahead and give us a little update?
Yeah, I didn't do too much,
Right,
but
okay.
yeah. I went out on Saturday because this weekend was the Final Four, but my
Hmm.
team did not make it to the Final Four, so I didn't get to travel, so I was really bummed. So my husband planned a day, so I wouldn't have to think about it, which is so dramatic. But are we surprised?
No, not
Hopefully
at
not.
all.
Not at all. So really all we we went to a yard sale that morning because
Hmm.
my close friend Mallory, her neighborhood was having a yard sale, so we went to support, and then she gave me something for free. So
Yay.
that's how that went,
That's
which
how
is
supporting
great.
works. So,
Yeah, that's how support works. I was there. I brought R2 and my dog, so that was also added support. And then we went to Birmingham
hmm.
and we went to a vintage market there. Apparently they do this vintage market like once a month, maybe.
Oh.
And we're not like crazy like vintage market people. We
Hmm.
went to one for the first time that was here where I live, and it was very small. We were like, oh, that's kind of cool. So when Grayson saw the one in Birmingham, he was like, maybe this would be fun. It was huge, huge. There were so many vendors there.
Hmm.
Some of the same vendors that were here where I live were also there, and we've discovered that vintage markets are cool and vintage
Right.
style is cool, except for when I look at like a Harley Davidson t-shirt from 2001 that's being priced for $85. Those are the only times where I'm like, ooh,
That's not vintage.
oh,
That's not
or
even a 25th anniversary. Like,
mm-mm,
okay.
mm-mm. Or if I see like a denim jacket that I don't even know what brand it is, but it's $110.
Dear
All
Lord.
right, all right.
What do you think like is considered like vintage? Like what would be like the cutoff? Like for
Time-wise.
yeah, like what do you think is like considered vintage?
In terms of fashion, I do think that early 2000s fashion is vintage, like Y2K. That
Hmm.
that style isn't, well, it's kind of coming back, but I would
Right.
consider that vintage, or like 90s would be vintage.
Hmm.
I wouldn't really anything before that, like, I mean, you people might like the fashion of the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, but not me in particular.
Yeah,
And
well,
so
yeah. It's kind of
most of
hard
the
to
things,
style some pieces from those eras, I feel
just a
like.
little bit. But I don't know because I want to say like, oh, like 2005 wasn't that long ago, but that was 20 years ago. Barf. Um,
It's
I
2 days.
mean,
Yeah, that is gross,
that's
actually.
a long time, and fashion is so different. I don't know. I think that some of the pieces we saw at the vintage market were like, okay, these were created in like early, maybe like 2000 or 2001, and
Hmm.
like for a specific event or thing that happened then. So maybe that would be vintage.
Right.
That makes sense.
No,
Like
yeah.
sports or a movie
Yes.
premiere, something
Right.
like that.
I actually have a t-shirt that I think I got at the thrift store that is a movie gallery. If you recall movie
Yeah.
gallery at
Yeah.
all. And even though that was like early 2000s, those don't exist anymore. So
Right.
that would
Like
I feel
Blockbuster, yeah.
yeah, like I feel like that's pretty vintage-esque.
Now, when I see a um t-shirt of Eclipse with Edward Cullen on it, selling for $55, I might not consider that baby vintage.
No.
Um, but people bought it, and that's cool.
And I probably
So
would, but maybe not for
maybe
55.
not for $55.
Yeah, that's a little excessive.
Yeah. Now, I think some of the most vintage pieces I saw were mainly like either like t-shirts or like accessories. People had like a lot of like jewelry and stuff that was definitely old looking, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it could have been new and I had no clue, but it looked old.
Right.
Um, but we had a great time. It's just like I want to buy more things, but I just can't justify buying a t-shirt that was from the thrift store for $30.
Yeah,
Like
no.
I can't do that.
Also, like with I understand that like Harley Davidson, like older shirts are like considered like really cool, but like
Yeah.
Harley Davidson is still around.
Ooh,
And it's
right.
also like not saying it's not special, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just like, why would a shirt from 2001 be $75 when I could go to Harley Davidson right now and get a t-shirt?
Like it's still accessible to find
Yeah, like it's
those.
not like a rare find. I feel like if anything, you'll find seven Harley Davidson shirts at Goodwill before you find
Right.
movie gallery or whatever.
No, literally. And there were so many Harley Davidson sweat like shirt t-shirts at every single tent. Like proof right there that you can find them just
Anywhere.
about anywhere you go. Um, Now Grayson did move forward with buying a Harley Davidson shirt at the last vintage market we went to
Yeah.
because it was on the like $15 rack.
Yeah,
Um,
which is reasonable, I feel
right.
like.
And I found like a really cute like guess button up
Mm-hmm.
that could be for me and or Grayson. It was like oversized, very summery-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hard to explain for $5. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah.
Um, and Grayson saw this like hat from somebody, maybe like a race car driver, I think. That
Right.
was vintage and it was like $10 and he really liked it, and so he got it. Like that, okay, that's fine.
I
But there was
just I agree with you. I am like so like I will not be paying more than $30 for a shirt. Period.
and like
Brand new or old. I'm sorry.
right. Yeah, in a t-shirt. And the thing is like I get it's part of vintage, but it's worn. It's
Yeah.
it's worn. It's not even new.
Right. Oh
Anyway,
gosh.
and before people say, "Oh, you don't get it." I get it. I do. But not for a Gildan t-shirt. A Hanes t-shirt? Are you joking
Oh
me?
my gosh.
A
Come
Hanes t-shirt?
on.
That's insane. That's clinically insane. But
Yeah, no.
and then we went to a brewery afterwards that was really it just gave like the perfect some almost summertime vibes. Like it wasn't too hot outside
Mm.
yet,
Hmm.
and it was like indoor outdoor and baseball was on the TV and basketball, and it was like wow,
Um,
what an environment. And they had like beer and hot like not hot, well, they did have hot dogs, but they had mainly burgers and fries, and I was like, oh my gosh,
oh,
it's almost summertime.
for some reason I thought you actually went to a baseball game.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I did. I'm getting there. Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. Oops,
And
spoiler.
then yeah, oops, spoiler. Yeah. And then after that, we went to the botanical gardens that are up there just because Grayson really wanted us to go look at the Japanese exhibit of the botanical gardens, of course. And
Hmm.
it was really cool. It was so hot when we got to the botanical gardens because we're just surrounded by foliage, if you will.
Yeah.
And I normally don't have any issues with allergies, but I think as I get older, I'm starting to. I was having such an allergy fit. I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, we need to find someone that has allergy medicine. Otherwise, I'm not going to make it throughout the day. Like, I can't breathe. And we went to the gift shop. They were like, we don't carry that. Right. I wouldn't carry allergy medicine in a place with a bunch of plants either.
In the
And
middle of March slash the
yeah,
beginning of
in the middle of
April.
pollen season or anything like
Yeah.
that. But they were really sweet. They were like, there's a grocery store across the street. And we were like, okay. Also, Botanical Gardens was completely packed because apparently one of the schools around there was hosting prom there, which is sweet. It was
Oh my gosh.
crazy, crazy.
Wait, that's crazy. The public could go in if they were doing prom.
Um, I think they were doing it as we were leaving, so they might have changed it because when we got in, it was still packed, but people were just taking pictures. Like it was in the middle of the day. Like it was probably like one or two.
Oh,
And
okay.
then as we were leaving, we saw buses and like f flows of people were getting off in
Hmm.
prom dresses and families and stuff. But it's also massive and it's free to go to the Botanical Gardens. So like maybe that because there was also a wedding happening, by the way,
Oh my
too. So
gosh.
it was like this, it was popping off on a Saturday. So maybe they can't close it because it's free to the public, and if you're gonna
Mm,
use it, then like you have to know that people are just gonna be coming in. Not that the wedding space wasn't like closed off or anything, but
yeah.
like still. Anywho, so then we went and found, Zyrtec because it was necessary. Had to go all the way to the Publix.
Hmm.
And then we went to an actual baseball game, which let me tell you, baseball is America.
No, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like
that's
I
America's pastime.
I say it every season, every time it rolls around, and I go to my first baseball game or I watch my first baseball game on TV. Because I'm a Rays fan, so I turn it on opening day, whatever. And it's just the feeling that you get when you watch baseball. And
Mm.
Grace and I were talking about this. Even if you don't like baseball, like you have to agree that baseball is just the epitome of America, or like the
America.
American sport. Well, yeah, we have like American football, but it's not the same thing. Baseball represents like the summertime, the springtime, good
Hmm.
weather, like hot dogs and French fries and maybe a beer or two. It's
Hmm.
outside, it's community, but then also like you don't have to watch the game. You could just be hanging out in this awesome space. I don't know. I just love baseball so much and the vibes it brought. So of course I was there having a great time. Did move forward with getting me a hot dog wrapped in aluminum foil. I did pay
Yeah.
$5 for it, which is actually clinically insane.
Wait, that's like cheaper than I was thinking though.
Okay, well,
I don't know. I mean like okay, I went to obviously this is the NFL, but I went to a Dolphins game and I paid like $7, $8 for a hot dog and I said the pack of hot dogs is not that much money.
no, it's not. It's not even five,
No.
honestly. Uh. I guess that's true because if I go to like if I any stadium game I've been to, yeah, the hot dogs are like $6,
Yeah,
which
I'm
is
like, hello.
horrible. Horrible.
Hot dog should be $2 priced, period.
Yeah, that's fine. You want to charge me $5, $7 for a burger? Okay, that's fine. A hot dog? Come on, you're not fooling anybody. Let's just go ahead and charge me $2. That's
Yeah,
fine.
come on.
And it was ew. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was still great because it's a hot dog in
Mm.
aluminum foil. What can I say?
Yeah, that's one of
Um,
Summer's guilty pleasures if you were unaware, like a hot dog with a in aluminum foil specifically is like
Specifically.
her kryptonite.
Yes. And they don't always have them wrapped in aluminum foil.
No,
So
they
when I
don't.
saw them turn around and he grabbed two handfuls of something wrapped in aluminum foil, I said, "This is the
Yes,
day.
sir.
This
Yes,
night's
sir.
gonna be great." That's all I need to know. And it just like felt right. You're sitting at 6:30 on a Saturday. It's spring, the sun is setting. You have a hot dog and aluminum foil and a
Mm.
beer. America's pastime.
The
It was
Razor.
so
Wait,
great.
was it the
It was
Rays?
no, it was a minor league game, so it was the
Oh.
Barons, Birmingham Barons. So
Oh, Abby, my sister, Abby just went to a Biscuits game yesterday as well, and
cool.
which is Montgomery for those of you who don't
Yeah.
know. And why did she text me? She said the Biscuits just won and rushed the field. Why am I tearing up? And I was like, it is the power of baseball.
It's the power of sports honestly. And yeah, of course, I was, sitting there cheering them on, imagining that they were a specific team out of Chicago that doesn't really exist from
Oh
the Windy
my
City series.
gosh.
Of course, just cheering on the Rhodes brothers, if you will,
If
if
you
you can
like do not
imagine.
mind. I think they're the Warriors,
Warriors,
Windy
Windy City
City
Warriors.
Warriors. That's
Yep.
right.
So I was cheering for that pitcher on the mound,
Yep.
Kai, hey, and the little shortstop over there,
Yep.
Isaiah. They did great yesterday. It was so fun to cheer them on. And what's really funny is I didn't know what team the Barons were affiliated with, like
Right.
what MLB team, and because the Montgomery Biscuits are affiliated with the Rays, which is fun, um, and the Barons are affiliated with the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, how fun.
So I
So
was
yeah,
like,
you were seeing them actually.
so it was like Chicago, okay, I can imagine.
I know a couple things about Chicago.
I know a few things, dare
About the
I
Windy
say, about
City.
the Windy City, good old Windy City. But that's pretty much it. After that, we just came home because the baseball game was, 6:30, i.e. it probably wasn't gonna end till like 11. And so we just came
Mm.
home and then I passed out because I was so tired.
Yeah,
And
you were
it started
like
to rain.
you said I didn't do much and you were like, yeah, and then we went to this brewery. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she had such a long day. That was not even before the baseball
Nope,
game. So
nope, nope. It
and
was a long day.
went to the gardens before a baseball game is like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, she did so much.
I told Grayson, I was like, I feel like we're traveling. Like when you travel somewhere, like you spend all day like doing like
Random
different
stuff.
things,
Yeah.
like because you're not home. What else are you gonna do? Go back to your Airbnb or your hotel room? That's what it felt like yesterday. So I didn't mind. It was good. It was nice, sunny. Unlike today, it's rainy.
Okay, so the last time we talked, since then I have done nothing other than work, which is obviously sweet. But last night I did something a little interesting. Well, actually, I'll say this. I did have Taco Bell for 2 nights in a row.
Yeah,
Sue
as you
me.
should.
They have a new street chalupa, which is basically the chalupa, and then there's like shredded cheese on the outside that's kind of like ingrained into the
Hmm.
shell. And then they have the new cantina chicken with like this chili lime sauce. I don't know how to explain it. It is so freaking good. Crunchy, savory. Mm.
Mm,
It was so good I had to go back again last night.
yeah, right. Couldn't
Um,
stop thinking about it.
no. But so last night, me and two of my friends went line dancing,
Ooh.
which like it's like kind of like the only thing to do down here that's like family friendly, if you will. We went in and we get there early because they have like lessons around like 7, 8-ish. So we got there early and I don't understand line dancing. It's really like you can't just like go for one time. Like you really do have to be a regular. We got there, we learned a new dance, right? And then from there they did recaps of the dances from like the past couple of weeks. And I was like, "Oh, well, they weren't like teaching you. They were like, "Okay, girls, let's recap." And I'm like, "Okay, but I don't know
I wasn't
it."
here.
Which is like totally like I understand that like if you're a regular and you come every week, like you would want the recap, whatever. I was whatever. You just go for fun.
Right.
So we after that we learned our dance and we're like, okay, we'll just wait until they like play that song and then we'll get on the dance floor. So like while we were waiting, we went outside and just gabbed, and then we gabbed for about 3 hours, and then we were like, actually, let's just go ahead and leave. So we didn't actually
Yeah.
line dance at all.
Oh, okay.
We
That
we
makes
Yeah, we
sense.
learned our dance and then talked the whole time and then left.
Good.
And then went to Taco Bell. So the thing
Right.
about my Taco Bell trip experience the second time, I think it's so funny to dine in at Taco Bell for some reason.
Okay.
There's just something about like going in there and like sitting down and like laying your food out on the table. I don't know. It's so funny to me. So we were like we're dining in.
Yeah.
So like we're not doing to go. So we were dining in and I had cash and I was like, okay, I have all this cash, like I'm just gonna pay in cash. But they didn't have people at the cash register. So you had to like order on the little kiosk
Mm-hmm.
and then you I was like pay at counter. Okay.
Yep.
I was like, okay, fine, I'll go sit down. Everybody's getting their food. I'm like, okay, like where's my food? So I go, I'm like, hi, I just want to check in. Like I haven't received my food yet. And they were like, we don't have an order. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to like pay it because I did say I was going to pay in cash. She was like, okay, I paid for it. She's like, it'll be out in a little bit. I'm like, okay. So I go and sit back down once again. It's like 15 minutes. And like Taco Bell is not,
Oh, that's horrible.
no, Taco Bell is not like, it doesn't take that long. It's like five
No,
ingredients.
no. You
And
also can like literally watch them make it. They're like
and
right
there's
there.
nobody in there. So I like went back. I was like, hi, like just checking in on my order. And the girl like went to the cooks or whatever, and she was like, "Where's this girl's order?" And they were like, "There is no order on this screen." Turns out the girl that I had to pay my cash to, she
Mm-hmm.
was like, because I didn't pay with card, like it wasn't going to show up unless she like manually pulled it up. So I did wait for about 30 minutes for my two tacos.
Good.
They gave me an extra. I love their Fiesta potatoes. Do you know what
Yeah.
those are?
Yes, that's what Grayson loves those too.
Oh my God, they're the I cannot go to Taco Bell without it.
Yeah.
Um, they gave me a second one as a consolation prize. I was like, well, you could have just given me the Cinnabon Delights if you wanted to be generous.
If you
Like, give
wanted to
me
be sweet.
dessert. Like,
Yeah.
I already have a potato, so
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, it's fine. Anyway, so that was kind of my weekend. Double Taco Bell and like one line dance at the line dancing bar. My outfit was so cute, though.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna
Your hair was cute.
flex. Thank you very much. Just kind of like transferring into the reading of it all.
Yeah.
Um, for those who do not know, I also am trying to maintain a YouTube channel, and I did a like video where I put like 20 books from my TBR on a to be read for those who are not readers. So like basically what I want to read
Yeah.
on a random wheel, and I was gonna let it pick like 7 books that I was gonna read this month. It did that whatever, and so I started listening to one of those books,
Mm-hmm.
Flock by Kate Stewart, and I was like really nervous to do this one because I know that in like something I know a character dies in this series. I don't at first I couldn't remember who it was, but now I do know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so but they don't die until the second book, so I didn't even get there. Blah 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 blah. I was unaware that this book was a why choose. So I think
Oh, interesting.
yeah, which
I had to remember what that was for a second.
for those of you who don't know what why choose is, it's like when the main character has multiple boyfriends or girlfriends, whoever, whatever. I did not
Oh.
know that that was the case. So I like was going in and I like it was so blatantly obvious that she was going to get with this one guy and I was like, "Who go girl?" And then she ends up also getting with the best friend
At the
and
same
yeah, and like the first guy
time.
she was with was like, "Go ahead, queen." And I was like, "Oh."
Mm-hmm. And that's what we
But the
wanted.
thing was, like, the book was like, to me, the book was so entertaining. Like,
That's good at
aside from
least.
that, like, before all that happened, I mean, even so, I think I ended up giving it like 3 stars or 3.5, whatever. I think maybe it was the audiobook. I don't think reading it would have been mo as enjoyable because it's really confusing because
Yeah.
they all have a secret and they're keeping her in the dark, so therefore the audience is in the dark. So they're just like really cryptic with their dialogue and you're like, what's going on? And then finally at the end you kind of get a little like, oh, like this is what they were
Mm.
doing, this is why these are their motives, blah 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 blah. Well, my friend Jordan, she has read the whole series. And I know, so I don't want to spoil, but the person that I wanted her to be with, she ends up like not even being with him. And
Okay.
then the other one that she is with ends up dying in the next book. Sweet. And then she
Mm-hmm.
also ends up with it literally between there's 3 love interests. Like she is with these two over here, and then one dies by, and then I don't know how the events go, but like she ends up with this guy over here. I, and that makes me so sad because the I want her to be with like the first guy that I want her to be with. I'm not going to say who. This is like really confusing. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to say names in case you guys want to read it. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm so confused following her web, but
Yeah,
like
so basically it's like 2 best friends she's with. One of those
one of those
dies.
die.
And then like the villain ends up falling in love with her as well, and she ends up with the villain at the end. I don't think he's a villain by the end of it, but like in the second book, he's the villain.
But and we're
I
no
think
longer white choose?
no, no, she ends up with one person by the end of it. Yeah. So anyway, that was something that I was not prepared for. I did not realize we were doing white shoes at this time. But
Hmm.
thankfully it doesn't end as a white shoes.
That is
Secondly,
one trope we didn't talk about that I don't like.
yeah. Yeah, only because I've only read two white chooses before, including the one that I did not realize was. I just like feel every single time I've read one, the two times, it
The plethora of ones,
yeah,
two
it
books.
just feels like it is blatantly obvious that the main person likes one of
More.
them more.
It's the same thing with Love Dry Uncle for me.
Yes, like
Yeah.
it's obvious that like Elle Kennedy, for example, who wrote The Deal, she just came out with the white shoes. I read it, and it was like it was so obvious that she was into what one was getting way too much screen time than the
Mm-hmm.
other.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't I don't know how to like go along with it because I'm like she clearly likes this one better. So like why is she with both of them? Additionally, sorry, I actually did read I read like three books this last week, so
No, please, yeah.
I'll be quick.
No, go.
That was an audiobook, Flock. Then I read oh my God, what was it? What did I read actually?
First time caller.
First Time Caller. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
I got you. I'll keep up
She's
with
on
you
my
on Goodreads.
Goodreads.
Whatever.
I read First Time Caller and like that book I've seen everywhere. Like that
Mm-hmm.
cover has been it was an industry plant book. That's what I'll say. Like they were pushing, pushing, pushing. Not that it was bad. It wasn't. But like to see it everywhere I turn and it
You
be
had
just
high hopes.
yeah, I had high hopes. Also, the cover is gorgeous. So I was like, this is gonna be really good. I didn't even really look at the synopsis. I was just like, it's pretty.
We're
Everyone's
judging books by their covers here, okay?
yeah, and like I said, I mean, it worked. The
Yeah.
industry plant worked. Like they put it out there so much. I was like, fine, I'll read it. And it was fine, but I was just like, this is like every other book I've ever read.
Yeah, there's
Like
nothing special.
yeah, there was nothing special about it. And I'm just like, why are we pushing this so hard?
Yeah.
Additionally, last one I'll say, Abby Jimenez, who me and Summer love.
Mm-hmm.
She just came out with another book. I thought it was part of your World series, but
I thought so too.
I don't know if it is. It might be like it is like a continuation. Like you see Samantha in Just for the Summer, which is the last book she came out with in that series. But I think this might be a start of a new series because they're no longer in
Uh,
Minnesota
oh, so we're gonna
by
start
the
with like a new. Okay.
maybe that's what I've been told. I haven't looked into it, so that could be wrong. You guys can fact check me. Um, I always am in everything Abby Jimenez writes, I'm like going to gobble up
Mm-hmm.
without a swallow of water. And unfortunately, that is just what I did. So you'll remember me. It was so good. I won't say my other friend who's like obsessed with her as well was like he is better than any Abby Jimenez I've ever read, and I was like, oh my God. So going into it, I was like, okay, this is it. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he didn't beat Justin,
Yeah, but I
unfortunately.
say, hey, did he beat Justin for you? That's the one.
He didn't.
Okay.
He did not beat Justin for me. It was good, but I gave it 4 stars just because it was basically the same thing over and over again. They're doing a long distance relationship. So it was the whole book was just them catching flights, going to see her, going to see
Yeah.
him. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about Abby Jimenez is that she like tackles certain like normal day
Real
struggles.
life like
Yes, like
issues.
for
Yeah.
example, both of them were like really struggling financially, but they also were trying to maintain their
A
long
long
distance.
distance. Yeah.
Yes. Like and so it got to the point where like he was working 80 hours a week trying to like get all this money that he could take and like buy plane tickets whatever, and she moved back home because her mother is like suffering with dementia
Mm.
and needs like her family needs her. So it was hard for her to like get up and leave because she's like basically a caretaker for her mother. So he was the one that kind of had to like make more sacrifices to come and see her. Anyway, it was really good. I loved him. I will say it was a little insta love in the beginning. It was pretty,
Okay.
it was quick, but I feel
Okay.
like Just for the Summer was kind of the same way. So
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
I
care.
don't mind that. It
No,
depends.
no. And the cover, once again, judging a book by its cover, the cover is gorgeous. I need the
Cover is
physical
really
copy.
cute. Yeah, the
I
cover's
need the
really cute. It
physical
has a
copy.
doggy on it.
It do.
It do.
It do got a dog.
I added her to my TBR because, like, obviously, like, I've got to read it.
You do. This is not really a spoiler, but she did, Abby, the author, of course, did have to refer to the main guy, Xavier. She did mention 6 times in the span of like 30 pages that he looks like Rhysand from ACOTAR. It was it was almost excessive how much they mentioned the High Lord of the Night Court.
And you know, if anyone gets it,
No, and I get it. Like we're obviously obsessed with him, but I was like, I don't love when books like take something like super pop culture-y.
like mainstream and like
Yes, and
embedded in there.
mentioning it once or twice, that's funny. Ha ha, like he looks like Rhysand, but like that's a little more niche, I feel
Right?
like. Like
And also, no one looks like Rhysand. I'm so sorry.
yeah, no one human
No,
could ever look like
yeah,
Rhysand. So,
yeah. There's only one High Lord of the Night Court, and he
and
is not
that's
in an Abby Amos book at this time.
all right, what about you? I don't want to go like deep dive because I we have decided we are going to do an episode all about this book series and just because like yeah, and
Yeah.
free will and whatever, but I do want to hear your thoughts on the Road Brothers if you don't
Well,
mind.
of course, since our last episode, I finished The Right Move because I think in the last episode, this is the Windy City series by Liz Tomfortier, right?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that's how you say it.
I was
That's
about to
what
say
I'm
that's
gonna.
how you say her last name. And I think in the last episode, I was just starting The Right Move, or I was like not even halfway through. It did move forward with finishing it the very next day.
Yep.
And all I have to say is Ryan Shea.
Hmm.
And the storyline doesn't change from there.
No,
Um,
yeah, he's a constant.
I've thought about him every day. I also, again, not going to go super deep dive because there are so many thoughts that I can share, but I loved Indy, the female main character.
Hmm.
I thought, me personally, she was very relatable in that, like, she's a hopeless romantic and she's
Hmm.
girly and,
Loves
she
to
calls her,
read.
yeah, loves to read. She calls herself basic like every other girl. And I, like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Hmm.
And Ryan just loves her for it. And it,
I love him.
Ryan
And we
Shay.
will go into the depths in which why Ryan Shay is the best of all time, but we are waiting because there is one more book in this series that comes out in May.
Yeah, and
So
we're
you
gonna do
guys,
full deep dive on the
yeah.
Windy City series after we consume that
So
piece
you
of
guys are gonna have
literature.
to wait.
But yeah, after I finished it, I had originally told myself that I was gonna read Mile High and The Right Move, then take a break and go into fantasy, and
Yeah.
then read the next two because there's a total of four in the series right now. Because I really just wanted to read about Ryan Shea, and then I thought, I could read the next two after reading a little bit of fantasy.
Hmm.
So then, of course, we did have to FaceTime after I finished The Right Move, Allison and I. And somehow, Caught Up got downloaded on my Kindle, and
Yeah.
I started reading it that night. I don't know what happened there,
Yeah,
but
magic and whatnot.
magic and whatnot. All of a sudden, I was reading about Kai Rhodes, who's part of the Windy City Warriors Chicago baseball team,
Who you saw this
um,
weekend, of
who
course.
I supported this weekend, and his brother, who is
The shortstop, so.
the shortstop, of course. I We haven't talked about this one at all, I don't
No,
think.
we haven't. That's why I'm like,
I
I need to hear
gave
about.
The Right Move, of course, 5 stars. I think that was pretty obvious. And I gave Caught Up 4 stars.
Hmm.
This trope in this one, I guess, was single dad,
Hmm.
whole
Nanny.
story to that, single dad nanny vibes. Um, I think it was just really sweet. I just liked that the whole thing was very sweet, which is why I gave it 4 stars because I felt like the whole time it was like sweet and wholesome,
Hmm.
but there wasn't much more than that, in my opinion. They had their like issues, like
Yeah.
individually that they worked on together, whatever. But it didn't have as much depth as the first two. Considering Mile High is 600 pages, there's no way, obviously, it could have as much depth.
Yeah.
And considering Ryan Shea,
Yeah.
is not the main character. Um, Spoiler alert, Ryan and Indy do move forward with having their wedding in Caught Up, and I did shed a few
Hmm.
tears
Hmm.
because I couldn't help it. Not even book's not even about them. So, but I thought it was sweet. But like the only problem was that she wanted to chase her dreams, so she left, but then came back. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
It was just
agree. I think it was that one is like not, I wouldn't say a dud. It's just not the best in the series. But
right.
I like seeing their relationship after their book. Like in Isaiah's
Yeah.
book, it was like so sweet.
I can imagine. I
Those
loved
two.
their epilogue was good. I loved their epilogue. I think it was sweet. I have no issues with it. Yeah, I wouldn't
And
necessarily say
they have a baby.
yeah, like I think that and I'm not a huge like this is gonna sound horrible. Like I'm not a huge like kid person. I want children, but that's why normally I don't lean for like single dad or single
Hmm.
mom books. Not that I don't like them. I read them obviously. But I really like the progression of this one and I don't know. I thought it was I love found family and I think that's what that felt like as well.
Yeah.
Because like
100%.
in this one, Kai also has a found family with like the baseball team and Ryan and Zay and
Xander's,
Stevie and
yeah.
Xander's and Indy and then his brother. Like it's just like I don't know. I think that was just really sweet. But it's my least favorite of the three so far. I did again somehow the next one play along was
Also,
opened
yeah.
the very next day, which is cool. I'm only like 3 chapters into that, but this
Yeah.
one is about Kai's brother, Isaiah, the shortstop, as we've mentioned, that I got to see Saturday, and talk to him a little bit about, the book, of course, but loving her. I mean, I'm 3 chapters in, but
Yeah.
Isaiah was so prominent in Caught Up because, it's Kai's brother and all, so I'm really excited about it, and I'm already in love with the, like, I guess trope or storyline of their
Hmm.
relationship. So,
He's like been obsessed with her since the moment he saw her and was like trying to get with her from the moment he saw her,
yeah.
but she was engaged. So he like took a step back, but when he found out she wasn't, he said, "I'm changing for the better and I'm going to be the man for her."
And like
He
and
loves
when
her
you
so
when you
much.
read Caught Up, like all that,
Yeah.
but you don't know like about when they first meet or like
Yeah.
why he was immediately like obsessed with her, and so you find that out immediately when you open up Play Along. And so Isaiah is just so baby girl, and I'm so excited to
Yeah.
read. And then, as we said, one more comes out in May, and then we'll do a full deep dive into all the
All
Windy
the
City.
all the bookies.
But yeah, that's all I've read because like what else what else
Yeah.
was I supposed to do?
Well, yeah, and I'm glad you're on Isaiah now. He's my second favorite, I think, out of the series.
Yeah,
Obviously, Ryan it takes the cake, as we've talked
I
about.
mean Ryan
Yeah,
Shay.
Ryan check.
So
But Isaiah Rhodes, he's one. Okay, this is also another micro trade we didn't talk about, but he is one to be like, Summer, you haven't gotten there yet, but like he has trauma with like storms. So every time it storms, he has to call everyone that he cares about to make sure they're okay. And even and even though Kennedy hates him, he always calls Kennedy. It's so good. I love that man with my whole heart. Bless his
that kind of
heart.
falls that kind of falls under the like
No.
taking care
Yeah.
trope, except
Well,
for
obviously it comes back after she's like in love with him
oh
and
well yeah.
yeah. And
Oh my God,
she
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it's so it's so good. This is also another little micro trip that I'm also obsessed with that is in that book. Like he like is always making sure she has something to eat. Like he'll come in because she's like the physical therapist or whatever for the baseball team. That's
Athletic
how
trainer. Yeah.
athletic trainer. Yeah, thank you. So like she's always like working on like the team, blah 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 blah, and like he'll just come in with a sandwich.
Oh God. wedding.
Anyway,
Oh.
he'll come in and bring her a sandwich, and he's like, "No, no one is gonna let you work on them until you eat this sandwich." He's like,
Sandwich, if you will.
"Sandwich, if you will," and he's like, "Did you eat today?" Like something about that just it does something to me.
Again, I think it all is under the. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that's funny. I think it
Anyway.
just all falls under the taking care of trope, like making sure everybody's safe, making sure everybody's eaten, making sure like the person you
Yeah,
care about
he
is taken care of as well as you getting taken care of.
and the thing about Kennedy, which we kind of talked about this is similar to like yours truly, where he has like social anxiety. She has like a weird relationship with her family,
Mm,
and like she's having a weird relationship with her boss at work. So it's just like she like not that she's not confident in herself, but like he
she has
makes
some, yeah.
like a chip on her shoulder, yeah. So like he makes sure that she knows how worthy she. Oh my gosh, I
Oh,
love
I can't
him.
wait. Obviously, I didn't read it yesterday because of the slew of events that I did, but
Yeah,
like
the
I
botanical gardens and
I was cheering them on at the baseball game. That took top priority. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I can't wait to.
Yeah, no, yeah. This I think this is the one I'm most excited for you to read. So,
Yay! I'm excited. And I'm even more excited about Rio because oh my God, I love him so
hmm
much. He's so funny, but also credit to like the author. There are not many books that actually make me laugh out loud. This
hmm
book makes me some of the random things that happen. I don't want to go into full detail because I want us to talk about it when we do our
Yeah.
deep dive, but there's some like dialogues or like behaviors that the characters will do that is so funny, especially Rio, that I'm like, oh my God, that's just so funny. Why is it so funny?
We're like Rio in a way in which we're all obsessed with Ryan Shea. He is like the
Right?
biggest fanboy for Ryan, and even though he's like really good friends with Indy, who ends up with Ryan, for those who are
Hmm.
trying to keep up with what we're talking about, um, even though Indy and Rio are besties, like he cannot fathom that Indy is like with Ryan.
Right.
It's
In
so
the
funny.
in the wedding scene in Caught Up, he was so excited to be a part of their wedding, except for he was on Indy's side and he was like, well, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm on
I was on
Ryan's side
Ryan's side, yeah.
too, so it's gonna be fine. Oh my God, he's so funny. I want him to find, I can't, I'm so excited. I'm so
And his
excited.
is like second chance, I'm pretty sure. Like it's
Yes.
like
Oh,
his
that's
like
what I read.
childhood nemesis type, which
Yeah.
is just which at the end of Isaiah's book there's like a little like he's like, "Oh my gosh, I hate this girl." And like Rio is like not that type.
Rio loves everyone.
Yeah.
He's
So,
a lover boy.
it's gonna be good.
I'm so excited. Target was having their sponsor. Target
Mhm.
was having their Target Circle Week or whatever, and they were having a book sale. So I bought Mile High in the right move because I hadn't even finished Mile High yet. I didn't know I was gonna be so in love with the series. I don't know why. I don't know where my head was at.
Mhm.
And so now that, of course, when the books came in, I was already done with Caught Up, and now I need them all
Yeah.
so desperately.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, I Liz, you are queen. Like, congratulations. These books are so good.
I had a question for you. Okay, if you could go back to any era of your life slash like maybe a year in your life, like what one would you choose? I know.
Uh, oh God. Okay, 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 okay. I don't oh, that's difficult for me
hmm
because honestly my gut answer goes to just like our theater era, which we've talked
hmm
about in extensive detail.
hmm
Because I didn't do any of theater outside of our
That.
high school years. Yeah,
hmm
outside of that, because I just didn't have the time. Um, and I that's like one of my favorite things ever.
I know I miss it.
Well, this is gonna sound like absolutely horrible, and you don't have to keep this in at all.
Okay.
But COVID for me was such a great time.
Summer, I I have to agree.
Like 2020, um, now of course, like I didn't know Grayson and I didn't have R2, so like just like not thinking about those things and
hmm
not thinking about any relationship I was in, just simply like the things that we did in 2020. Um, I hung out with my friends every single day. We
Mm-hmm.
had no responsibilities. Like we would go to work, but we couldn't go to work like, like normal hours.
Yeah.
So we were still getting paid. But again, no responsibilities. School cut out early. Like we would go to the river and the lake and spend the night at each other's houses like for days and days and days. Like it was just like no care in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like we'll think about that time a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
while it was a horrible time for the country, and like at the end of the day, like it was horrible when we got back to school, we couldn't do literally anything.
Yeah.
But like when it first started, all the way up until when school came back, that era of time was just like so nostalgic. I remember being like fully invested into TikTok at that time
Mm-hmm.
and like
Mm-hmm.
just new awakenings of things that I became interested in that time. So maybe that, maybe then. You know what?
I
We can go with that.
yeah, I also like every time I get memories from like when we got out of school for COVID,
Mm-hmm.
like it was a good time.
And I hate to say it, but it was like
Like
we,
it was just
ugh,
like it was just like a much needed break. And honestly, because I don't think I would be saying this if I was like actually working. If I had like
I
if
agree.
I was like out of school, it probably wouldn't have been as enjoyable. But the fact that we were juniors in college
Right.
and we didn't do school after spring break,
Yeah.
basically. My teachers tried, but like there's only so much you can do with like
Yeah.
a broadcast degree that like you've got to be in person with a
Yeah.
camera. Like you
Right.
can't. Anyway, so that was I agree, but I will say, which is like maybe this is I don't know, but like my favorite year of all time is 2019. That was like the best year of my life. I went to like I went to so many concerts. I went to the best concert of my life, which was the band Camino. Twice. I saw them opening their tour and ending their tour. I saw
Mm-hmm.
Why Don't We, which is a boy band that I was obsessed with. I saw them three times, two of them for free. And then I saw just like so many different people and like I was like happy with like the way my style was. I was happy with like where I was in school. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it was just like a really good time.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then 20 actually my 2020 goal before we knew about COVID, me and my roommate also who we went to high school with, Ellen, we had a like a goal to like go to a concert a month. So like we were
Mm-hmm.
like planning, we got to obviously we got to March and then rip.
R.I.P. My friend Fallon and I, who we were together every single day of COVID, we look back and we're like, when did we eat? How did we survive? Like,
Yes.
when did we do any of those things? Is all we can remember is like, this is gonna make us sound like delinquents, but like, not like hardcore partying, but basically we were with friends all the time, like drinking, playing games, like hanging out, doing literally nothing other than that. So,
Hmm.
because we couldn't do anything
Yeah, there's
else.
nothing to do.
And we lived in a small town, like that's where I went to school. And so, like, whoever was left in town is who we were hanging out with.
Hmm.
And,
You had to make
um,
your own fun.
yeah, and it was a good time.
We're talking to go vintage here. We're talking
Yeah, we're trying to
2020.
go vintage. And then, like, the first year of college, it was fine. And then,
I do miss freshman year of college too.
yeah,
God, that was a
yeah.
good year. That was a good year. All right, maybe thoughts, comments, and concerns.
Yeah. So, you want to go first?
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my notes. This is actually so funny that this is my thought, and like we've already kind of talked about this.
Of course.
I wrote down hot dogs from the ballpark. Yes. At home, no. And here's what I'll say on that.
Okay, please
Obviously, the
elaborate.
hot dogs at the ballpark, I don't know what they're doing or how they're cooking it. It tastes so much better. As soon as I make a hot dog in my air fryer, it, no, it doesn't
Hmm.
taste good. I can buy the same brand. I can buy all the same ingredients and ingredients like Heinz ketchup,
The
but
bun.
yeah, the bun. I can buy everything that a ballpark has and it's just not going to taste the same. And I know it might be like the grill situation or like
Hmm.
the slow cooker situation, but
Hmm.
like eating a hot dog at home does not hit like it does in the ballpark. So,
Oh, absolutely not. However, it depends on how you cook it, but you've already brought this up because, like, we have a grill, and for 4th of July last year, all I wanted was to grill some hot dogs, and those hot dogs were phenomenal. But I grilled them at my house by the
Yeah.
pool. Like you can't argue. Like I can't do that. But in my air fryer or my microwave, if I boil them myself, or if I
Oh my
sear them on
God.
the pan,
A boiled hot dog, that makes me sick.
like okay,
I cannot do a boiled hot dog.
yeah. But like
It has to have,
it's
I like it when it's crunchy on the outside.
yeah, I agree. Or maybe if it's split like a little bit because it got like hot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Costco, but Costco hot dogs,
Mm-hmm.
have you had?
I have not shopped at Costco, but I've had a Costco hot dog.
Yeah, me too. Why would I buy a Costco membership? I'm one person,
Oh, God, yeah.
but that hot dog, that's where my coworkers took me for my birthday last year was Costco food court.
And then like Sam's Club also has really good hot dog in their
Mm,
food court.
Y'all have no idea what a hot dog does for
Uh,
us. What about you? What is your thoughts?
so I had this thought the other day, well, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, because I got added to like a bridesmaids group chat.
Mhm.
And everybody was told like to send like what their name is,
Mm,
um, so people could save a number or whatever. And it got me thinking, how like the first text that you send to somebody kind of really like sets the tone for what they're gonna think of you
yeah, it's a lot of
after that.
pressure. Yeah.
Like, and maybe this is overthinking it because God forbid we have a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And but I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, do I do all lowercase, be like
Hmm.
summer with an exclamation point, or do I say, hi, it's summer, or like, hey, I'm summer? What punctuation do I use? Do I
Yeah.
add an emoji in there? Do I
Yeah.
uppercase? Do I lowercase? Do I say Summer Phillips or do I just say Summer? Because like how I write that is like how people are going to judge me. Now, you might be thinking nobody's going to think that, but like I think that. So why
Yeah.
wouldn't other people think that? Not that I
Yeah.
judge like in a negative way, but if someone were to like use periods and capitalization, I'd be like, okay, well, I kind of got the vibe of like what kind of
Yeah,
person you
they're
are.
pretty
You know what I
straight-laced.
mean? Or if you use several emojis, okay, I got the kind of person. I get it. Or multiple exclamation points or no exclamation points or one or two. I I got
It
it.
sets the tone.
Or if you add nothing, okay.
All right,
Okay.
we get
And
it.
so I overthink every time I send like any form of communication for the first time to someone because it just
Hmm.
sets the tone forever of how, especially if like you're not meet like that's how you're kind of introducing yourself like in that
Hmm.
situation where you're added to a group chat
Right.
like that's your
Right.
first impression and texting is everything guys
It
so
really is. No, yeah, I totally agree. And I get really nervous also when I'm putting it like especially like a bridesmaid group chat where you're with people you can't so much you might know or you're like don't know at all. Like I try obviously to be the funniest one in the chat
oh well
and like
yeah
sometimes like no one's understanding what I'm putting down.
mm-hmm.
Like
They're not
it's
understanding what I offer
yeah, I'm like okay, like obviously I'm the funniest person I know, so like what
right
I don't know. It is a lot of pressure and like I'm like I probably should just stop trying, but at the same time
right
like you said it sets the tone.
but like are they going to get the right tone that's the
Oh
thing
gosh, you're so
and then it's
right.
just too much and then it's like do I even just care should I just put summer and be done with it
Well, what'd you do? What'd you put?
I did move forward with saying hi it's summer actually you know what I don't know. I think I overthought it. I might have put first and last name, which is so disgusting. I don't know
Well,
why I
I
would
don't know.
ever
I
do
think if it's
that.
like people don't know you, I think people would do.
There are a lot of
I would
people in
do.
in the group chat that I don't know.
Yeah, I would do first and last.
Oh, we were also answering a question. So we were supposed to put what our name was, and then if we needed hair and makeup. So I said, "Hello, this is Summer Phillips, and I'll need makeup, please," with a heart hands emoji and an exclamation point. And I did abbreviate please with PLS. So I feel like that made me look like a cool girl.
No, that's really cool, especially the
Okay.
heart hand. So
Okay, good.
you did good.
Okay, that's all I needed to know really at the end of the day. Because some people just did like first name, tab down, and what they needed. And I said,
Yeah,
gotcha,
perfect.
gotcha, 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 gotcha.
Maybe move on to comments.
Yeah, come
All
on.
right,
What's your
so
comment?
I watched this new movie on Netflix, with Amy Schumer. Do you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about? Like
Mm-hmm. I
the
haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
like I wasn't like I probably wouldn't click it on it myself, but when I was with friends, they were like, "Let's watch this," and I was like, "Okay, whatever." It's like where she pretends to be pregnant, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
this is the first time I've ever seen anything with Amy Schumer, and I'm gonna have to say it, she's not funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Grayson, I feel like I might get this wrong, but I'm fairly confident that is one of the comedians that Grayson thinks is like the least funny person on the planet, or one of. And I don't really know anything about her, nor do I consume her content because I also don't find what she does funny, which is rude. I'm sorry, but
It's not like she's supposed to be a comedian and it's not funny.
I do want to put the caveat out there that it's very hard for me to find true comedians funny. Let me
I
just say
agree.
that. Like, there are some things I consider funny, and usually it's not like straight up like
Stand up.
comedians. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, other than Fibula Connor Wood, of course,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
King. But,
Yeah.
like, especially actors who do comedy, like, it's rare that find that funny.
I agree. Like that's why I'm not, I know you're like an SNL girl, but like that's why I don't think SNL's funny. I don't know. But like
I don't love, like, I
people
don't,
on SNL are fun, like
yeah,
Amy Poehler, for example.
yeah,
Amy Poehler. Yeah.
yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Like Parks and
Yes.
Rec, yeah.
She's funny. Andy Samberg, super funny. Tina Fey
Yes.
is funny. It's just like I
Right.
don't know. I don't know what Amy Schumer's up to, but like Queen. It also I am like so like movies. I understand that comedy movies are like they do set up for awkward situations that make you cringe, but it's like supposed to be funny. And
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of like a lot of where the comedy was coming from in this new movie. And I had to walk out of the room at one point because I was
Uh,
getting the worst secondhand embarrassment I cannot express.
oh
Like I was
gosh.
like I had to leave the room. And that's what I'll
Ugh.
say. That's my comment. Amy Schumer is not funny. Okay.
And you know what? I'll approved. Stamp
Thank
of
you.
approval from me.
And Grayson.
Uh, and Grayson, yeah, I'll have to confirm that, but I'm very confident because again, I don't really know her that well. Anyway,
Yeah.
my comment, gosh, no one's gonna be surprised. I would just like to comment on the fact that a few days ago, I hit my 1 year of starting the
Hmm.
Throne of Glass series. I do just want to comment on that. It's mainstream, so it counts. Anyway,
And life hasn't been
um,
the same
and
since.
life hasn't been the same since. And I just wanted to go ahead and take this moment to thank Sarah J. Maas for
Hmm.
writing that piece of literature when she was only 16 years old, which is actually clinically insane, or at least starting that, and how much it has changed me and made me into who I am. And I did do a whole dedication on my Instagram story, which
Hmm.
is not like completely not dramatic at all.
No.
And yeah, I love you and thank you for changing my life.
I think, and I like mean this with my whole chest, I think that if I actually ever met Sarah J. Maas, I probably would faint.
I, I,
I'm
I've
not even trying to be funny. I genuinely think I would faint.
no, but I didn't even laugh because I have to seriously sit down and think, is she someone I can be in a room with? Is she one of those I have to put into the category of I can't be in a room with? Because
You
there are
think,
people like that. We've
yeah.
talked about this, and
Hmm.
sometimes I think about it and I kind of get a little short of breath, and I think, oh my God, can I not be in a room with her? But then
Right.
with an
I
author,
want to be,
right?
but I don't know if I can.
I I also, it's hard for me to conceptualize her as being a real person, like
Hmm.
a real human being, where those things like they come out of her brain, pen to paper. Like your
Hmm.
kid, like I don't know why I'm giving myself chills. I just like I think that if I saw her, I would feel as though like I'm seeing an like
You
apparition.
you cannot imagine the pain I was going through when Taylor Swift came to Miami. She was at that Miami concert,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot imagine being the person that was sitting behind her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would,
Right.
oh my
Because she was just
gosh.
sitting in like regular, like she wasn't backstage. She was just
No.
there.
Oh my gosh. Like, I cannot imagine. I was like the two most influential women in my life, Taylor Swift and Sarah J. Maas, were in the same room. And I was like, I like literally sat here and cried. I was like,
Yeah.
she is in this city. And like,
We're breathing the same air. We're on the same time zone.
oh
So
my gosh, I love that woman. Yeah,
I
I don't know if I'll be in a room. I can't say for sure. But I do want to like at the end of the day, it's like there's some people that you just want to thank so thoroughly for what they've done for you and like that she is that for me.
Like if I could have like a plan, like we know that we would have the ability to meet with her and I can sit and I can plan out like I'm gonna write her a letter
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
she can know and so she can sign all my books that I have from her.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do that, but I think that if it was like oh my God, she's in the same building as us, like we can go find her. I feel like I would have like an anxiety attack.
And it
And
also would stress me out that I wouldn't have every single book she's ever written in my hands for her to sign.
hmm
And
right.
also, a lot of signings they're like you can only there's like a limit and like there is no limit to what I like I need her to sign everything I
It's not
own.
my fault that you wrote freaking 18 five-star books or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's not my fault.
Like, not my fault at
Oh
all.
my gosh, I love that woman.
I do, I again, I said it in a funny way, but I'm being so serious that like it really did mean a lot to me to know that like I've had the knowledge of at least one Throne of Glass book for a year.
Hmm.
When we hit my 1 year of finishing Kingdom of Ash,
You girls better be ready.
like if Allison, if we lived closer together, like we would be going out as and
Yeah,
taking
I
the
didn't want to drink tonight, but I miss Kingdom of Ash like a
yeah, we would be going out to dinner and talking about it over drinks and celebrating in the only way we know how, which is beating a topic to death. So,
maybe we could also do that when you're here. Maybe we'll go to Chili's and do it
yeah.
and
Okay,
do
that's
it
another thing.
an SJM deep dive.
Just to
As if
dedicate
we
our,
don't already do that.
but not over Chili's.
Yeah, you're so right.
Like, oh my God, I just to this day have not read anything that has made me feel the same way. Now I've read things that I've loved, but guys,
Yeah, it really, she kind of ruined fantasy for me because nothing will ever compare to what she has done for us.
right,
Like fantasy falls flat when it's not
right,
something that she has written, which is
and
sad for us,
yeah,
but how lucky are we that we get to experience something so in,
generationally
yeah,
like
yeah.
impactful, like. And I'll just say one more thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean this like so sincerely. There has not been not one single day that has passed since I started reading it that I have not thought about Throne of Glass in some capacity. And
Hmm.
that does include like my wedding day, considering
The
I said the
earrings.
words to the earrings. I wore Throne of Glass earrings. I said to whatever end was literally in my vows. Call me dramatic. I literally don't care. Like, I it has impacted my life that deeply. Like it is ingrained into my lifestyle, my
Hmm.
brain chemistry. Like there's my brain is rewired from reading that literature. And yeah, I needed to take the moment to thank the Queen and to talk about it. Thank you so much for giving me a platform.
Yeah. Concerns. I already told you this, but I'm gonna inform the public here. I know a
Please.
couple weeks ago my concern was like I hate Shawn Mendes now. I did move forward with unfollowing him on Instagram.
Yep.
It got to
We
the
did take
point
the
where
step.
I just said, "Hey, you know what? I'm done." And I had to, it was a hard decision, but I had to cut that tie. So,
Yeah, you need to clear out the toxicity of finding him on
yeah,
your
like
feed.
every time I see him, I just get this like boiling anger and like that's not good for me.
And you don't
So,
need that in your life.
no, so I took him off my social media and I'm starting anew.
That is like actually insane considering the MagCon of it all.
I know. I know. But we
Wow.
don't have to discuss it that much. I just had to let you guys know that I'm done. And he didn't do anything of recent. I'm just like, I'm done.
And that's okay. We're moving on, bigger and better. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll come back one day.
All right, what about
Anyway,
you? Your concern?
my concern has come up while I've been reading the Windy City series, and it has nothing to do with the books in general. Obviously,
Mhm.
I still love them considering I spent the first 30 minutes of the episode talking about how much I love them. But Liz loves to use this word regularly, and
Mm.
I hate it so much, and I don't know why. And it is the word haunches. Okay?
Why do
That
you hate haunches?
When I envision the word haunches, I envision crusty, dirty, like hooves on a creature, okay? I had to look up, I'm like, okay, like, let me just look up what it means. Maybe it'll change the way I view, because I know what haunches are, just like the balls of your feet, essentially, like,
Yeah.
or not really the ball, like your like
I
getting
thought it was
like
your
squatting.
thighs.
Yeah, it's like your
Yeah.
thighs. It's like but squatting like while leaning on your feet and like yeah, sitting on your thighs essentially.
Hmm.
She used it one time in the right move. I counted, and I was like, ugh, I don't like that. She did move forward with using it so many times and caught up. I was like, I have to get over it because I
Oh
still love these
yeah.
books and I still love her. And there's literally nothing wrong with that word. There are some words that authors use that are like, dear God, please never use that again. Why are you even using that?
Hmm.
This one is just me personally. I hate the word haunches. She regularly would reference someone getting down on their haunches, like not in a spicy way either, just like coming eye level with their child because
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
I hate that word. I don't know why I envision like hooves when I think that, or
Okay.
like it feels, I don't know. Anyway, that's just my concern.
I
I'm
don't, how
mainly
else would she
concerned
describe it?
just like
Squatting?
getting eye level or like, yeah.
Okay. Haunches. I don't think I have a problem with haunches.
And you know what? The concern is mainly for myself.
That's
I'm
okay.
concerned with myself that maybe I should get some sort of like therapy done so I can unsee that word as being like
Yeah,
disgusting.
like exposure therapy, and it sounds like Liz
Yes.
was working on that.
Yeah, she's working on that now. Again, doesn't I have no issues with the author herself or the books. Like there's nothing wrong with the word haunches at all. It's just like gives
There's
me an icky
it's a
feeling.
reaction to you. That's totally fine. It
Right,
happens.
right. Yeah. Well, I'm just that's all I need to say about that, really.
Whew, okay. All right, girls. I think we did talk for a really long time.
That's fine. I don't know how long we talked.
Me either, but that's okay. And I was nervous because like we have nothing planned. Unfortunately, we know how to
Could
gab.
not stop talking,
We
which is why we have a podcast, guys. So
exactly.
don't hate us for it.
Don't hate us. Be sure to once again subscribe to us on YouTube, completely normal amount. Pod maybe
Yeah, completely
a
normal
normal
amount
amount podcast.
podcast.
As well as follow us on Instagram. I'll put all of those links obviously in the
Yeah.
description of wherever you're listening. Um,
Feel
but
free to give us a
yeah,
follow on TikTok as well.
if you want to
Same completely normal amount.
right, if you want to rate our show on Spotify and or Apple Music, be sure to do so as well. That would be sweet.
We accept
Um,
nothing less than five
yeah,
stars.
so if you're thinking 4.5, forget it.
Move
Um,
on, move along.
but yeah.
Thanks so much for listening,
Yeah, thanks
guys.
for listening and our
To
string of
wherever the wind took us.
consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, like if you were wondering how we sound like on the phone, like this is exactly what we talk about on the phone.
Yup. Yep. And this
So,
is how the idea of creating a podcast came about. So be grateful.
yeah, be grateful that you're kind of in the working space right now.
Right. You're in our heads. Kind of.
All right, bye
Bye,
guys.
guys.